everyone. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the ultimate show of the evening. If you've been waiting there for about 5-6 minutes for me to get online and start the show, thank you so much for your patience. Really genuinely appreciate it. As you guys know, there's a lot that actually goes on to be able to get this event going. So without any further ado, I am excited for today. There's a few news out there that we need to dissect. We need to crumpet. We need to break down, tear into pieces, and get to the bottom of it, right? So because of that, I'm excited. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot that's happened, that's changed over the last week. I'm super excited because, guys, I am going camping next week. But we're still going to have Nerd Night. And without any further ado, welcome to Nerd Night, episode 67. Yes, we are 67 down the line, down the track, guys. If you have no idea what that actually means, it means that we've been streaming non-stop for 67 straight weeks. I do believe that we did have to take a break on the day of Hck4G conference. So for those who actually were patient enough with us on that day, thank you for being patient. But we are back. We are back like the Terminator. Well, if you are just joining us, this is your first time, it is great that you are here. This is the only place where it's Rhythm Unplugged. Rhythm Unplugged because we go right into the heart of the issues. We go into the right of the technical hands-on, job-ready focus, cybersecurity training. We focus on the real things that you guys actually care about, which is how do you actually go from learning cybersecurity to actually mastering cybersecurity and then landing a job in cybersecurity. All of that, we are going to unpack it. And I'm your host, Semi Chucks, founder and CEO of Hck4G and the Link Group. We are a cybersecurity empowerment, training, and consulting organization. So that's really what we do. We also provide awareness of cybercrime amongst young people in underserved communities and untapped regions. So you are literally at the right place. There's no better place to be on a Saturday evening. Quick sound check just to make sure everything is going on, everything is working as intended online. So I'm going to quickly check because we do not want to be sorry. At the end of the day, we definitely don't want to be sorry. So let's quickly double check that we have sound online. Guys, you know how we roll. So definitely let me know in the comment section. Is everything working all right? Can everyone hear me fine? At the end of the day, we definitely... I think it is working. I think it is working. All right, let's see if we can move this little road guy out of the way. Let's see. All right, it is out of the way. Okay, so if you're wondering what we have in store today, so we are going to go straight into threat landscape because we don't have a lot of time. There's a lot that we need to do. I am really keen to actually share with you guys what has been going on in the cybersecurity community. A vulnerability that's just come out within the last 24 to 48 hours is React2Shell, and this is a really big deal. So we're going to be dissecting that. Of course, you know, your one and only, there's going to be stacks of dad jokes. If I don't remember any, I will Google it. Well, that's a dad joke in and out of itself. You guys know how we roll here. And then also, we're going to be focusing our energy on understanding how to deploy Metasploitable. And I'll share with you guys why that Metasploitable is something that you should have in your arsenal, in your lab environment. So for those who are still yet to build their lab environment, I'm going to show you guys how to use Metasploitable to do that. And obviously, shout out to the guys who developed whom we're going to obviously, shout out to when we get there. But that's basically what Nerd Night for today is going to look like. Of course, you guys know that you're not a captive audience, so feel free to jump into the conversation, right into it. Feel free to obviously do a super chat, comment, like, love, put in your opinion in the comment section because your opinion is valued and it's accepted in here. And also, feel free to actually subscribe and share this video. Guys, if you missed that last week, I encourage you, if you missed that Nerd Night episode 66, I encourage you to go back and look at that, especially if you're someone who's perhaps you've been in cybersecurity for maybe about a decade and you're wondering, well, how do I get into that next role? How do I get ahead? How do I step forward? That episode is definitely for you because it shows you how to actually go about going back into the job market, doing research using OSINT investigation, using basically OSINT and SOC Mint together. That was an amazing episode. So also for those who are perhaps new to the cybersecurity industry, OSINT and SOCMINT is a skill that you absolutely need to have in your arsenal. So if you missed that session, definitely go and watch that. I'll put a link in the comment section so people can actually go and watch it. But for those who are obviously, you were there last week, you were there the week before, which we also streamed, and you're here today, well, you are the VIP of this show. You are the reason, guys, that I keep showing up every single week, week in, week out, because I know that without you, that these sessions would not be possible. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are growing the channel, so this is just the beginning, and we're going to have a lot more better content as we go as well. And what we're going to be doing over 2026 is that we're going to be taking some of the videos and the captures from NerdKnight and break them into smaller content that you can consume in like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. So you don't have to watch me yabber on for almost 2 hours. Of course, my voice is absolutely worth it, right? But if you don't want to, perhaps you're like, you know what? I want to hear Sammy's voice live on Saturdays during NerdKnight, but I would like to actually watch that 5-minute snippet where he talked about something specific. Then you can do that through those short version reels / stories, or perhaps I don't know what you call it, but shorter version content that are not as long as this one. So without any further ado, I'm excited, guys, and let's jump right into it. So what's been happening in the interweb today, guys? If you have been listening, if you are someone who's been paying attention to cybersecurity, you would know that, one, we have officially launched our monthly subscription on CyLynk.com. Yeah, guys, you see what I did there? You thought I was going to go into cyber news, but this is cyber news. Oh, I'm very quiet. Okay, thanks so much, Internet Stranger. That is good information. Let me see what is going on here. I shouldn't be. It should be working fine. Okay, let me double check my sound a little bit. Interesting. I see the problem. Is that better? I think that should be better now. Yes, that should be better. Perhaps maybe too loud. I have no idea why this, for the life of me, chooses to always dial itself back down. Perhaps my voice, it's telling me something. It's telling me that my voice is too loud. Maybe that is what it is. All right. Cool. Hopefully, Blue Guard Solutions, hopefully it's not too loud for you, to be honest, because I've just increased the volume, so perhaps no sound now? What are you talking about? What? Yeah, I see why. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think I fixed it. So it was a little bit too loud, so the system was basically saying nah. Well, hopefully you guys heard what I said to start with. Well, if you guys are wondering what I was trying to say there, I was saying that there's a lot that's been happening in cybersecurity industry over the last week. One of those is that we have just launched our monthly subscription at CyLynk.com. So if you have not already gone in and signed up, guys, there are just a few things that I genuinely care about, which is not only making sure that cybersecurity is cheap and affordable, like cybersecurity training. Like for me, training being free isn't necessarily the thing that drives me. Although we have a lot of learners from underserved communities and untapped regions whom we want to make sure that our training are affordable to them. So, but being honest with you guys and being genuine, like cheap training isn't necessarily the thing that really makes me get off my bed at night. What actually really makes me get off my bed is job ready, hands-on technical training. Because here's what I'm seeing in the market is that every single Joe claims to be creating content. And they claim to be doing a free training or pay what you can training. Now, the problem with that is, as often in life, and I had to learn this the hard way in life, is that you often get what you pay for. So just be very careful when someone tells you, hey, this content is free. Like, it's often a game of your time for not a lot of value. So my focus isn't necessarily on free training or cheap training. My focus is on quality, hands-on, job-ready focused training that is accessible. So accessibility and job readiness is literally the hill I'm going to die on. So we've just launched our monthly subscription. So what this actually does, I'll show you guys this. So what this does is it allows you guys to then be able to learn without having to have that, high price tags that the job ready tracks have. So the job ready tracks are designed to be a little bit more expensive because they're more hands-on, one-on-one coaching type session. And obviously by their nature, that means we cannot sell a lot of them per year. But our modules and our courses and our forthcoming certifications, obviously we have a lot of relationship with a lot of vendors and a lot of our partners with whom you can buy certifications from us for them. And obviously when you do buy a certification from us, you are supporting the Hack for Good mission as well, because we sponsor that. So like, just to show you guys what we've actually just launched. So our training content is now in modules. So no longer do you have to finish a full course to be able to get a certificate. We are releasing the module-based learning now. So you can learn by module or you can learn by path. So the path basically just shows you a full-fledged learning path that you can follow. There is more content that is on the way that is coming. But for now, we are focusing on just showing you guys how you can learn. So a lot of this content is actually free right now. But I'll show you guys what our pricing tiers look like and how much they cost. So this is what a module would typically look like. And often you would know who created it. So one of the things about CyLynk.com is that it's not a training platform that is created by academia. So there's not a bunch of professors in the back end that is creating our content. Our content is often built by people who are actually active in the cybersecurity industry. So people who do this day and night, day in, day out, week in, week out, year in, year out, are the ones who actually go forth and create this content. So because of that, you can be rest assured that they're going to be filled with real life, job ready focused content. So this is an example of one of our paid learning content. So Linux automation, networking, and security fundamentals. So you can get access to this course today, and our personalized AI Link GPT AI tutor. So all on the same platform, so you don't have to pay for ChatGPT. We already have that included in here, so you can use this, and it's designed to actually help you learn as opposed to give you the answer for free. But to subscribe, you can literally just go in. Obviously, if you've already subscribed, you can just click on Start Module, and it'll prompt you to log in, and you begin to learn immediately. So guys, see this. Now, this is the thing that actually shows you that we are a principled organization. I don't want to spend a lot of time in trying to show you guys this because I know we've got a lot to talk about today. But check this out. For $15 a month, now pay attention, AUD, not USD, because I'm sick of seeing platforms that tell you that they're they're $15.99, but when you actually try to pay for it and the conversion happens, it's in USD, which is more like $22 or $20. So you end up paying more than you originally thought because they're trying to kind of play trick on you by making it look like it's cheaper than it actually is. So we actually have our content and our platform available in Australian dollars. Now, that is not the end of it. We are also going to have our platform and our pricing available in local currencies across places like Papua New Guinea, Fiji, Vanuatu, Myanmar, Philippines, Malaysia, and across Africa as well, and India. So we're going to have our content in Indian rupees as well. So guys, our whole thing is accessibility and job readiness. So we intend to do these things to ensure that people actually have the content and the platform accessible to them in their own local currency. And of course, obviously, when you then go to pay, it will pay in Australian dollars. But at least you can see that price and that content in your local currency. So these are things that we obviously pay attention to and we care about. So guys, you can get access to our learning platform right now. You can just click on subscribe and you can get access to it. Now, you can get an additional discount when you go to our annual subscription, and this actually allows you to be able to pay a lot cheaper than you would pay if you were paying monthly. All right, look, without any further ado, guys, I definitely encourage you to do it. Remember this, your next action could create real impact because a percentage of every single learning platform or learning subscription we sell or we give out actually leads us or helps us fund the link projects that we have. So one of them obviously being Equip 360 and then Hack for Good. So for those who are obviously aware of what Hack for Good is, this is how we are able to fund the mission to disrupt cybercrime amongst young people in underserved community and untapped regions globally. So go and read more about that. You can read more about our link project at cylynk.com/link-projects. And you can see a little bit more about that. And obviously you can learn a little bit more about our organization by going to About Us. All right, guys, that's enough sale for one day. That, even I know that that's enough sale for one day. So let's actually get out of that and look at what's been happening in the interweb. So, okay, what is happening today? What is of React.js? And before I do that, I'm going to look at the comment section to see what you guys are saying. So, all right. I think the sound is a lot better now. That's the last comment I've got here, guys. So feel free to obviously contribute to the conversation. Feel free to obviously add your comments as well. But we are going to be moving straight into the next segment, and that segment is going to be landscape. All right, guys. You know how it is. All right, let's get out of here and let me look for my soundboard, because I feel like this threat landscape is going to require a soundboard. I can already feel it in my heart, with my chest beating. This one is going to require a soundboard. So, and let the drum roll begin. Where's the drum roll? Where is my drum roll? Where is my drum roll? Yeah, okay. Let's go. So where do we find this information? Well, one place to find it is actually looking at the impact of the vulnerability before we actually talk about the vulnerability itself. So let's take a look at Cloudflare Outage, right? So you guys can understand the impact of this. So let's take a look at this. Where is that? I don't want to look at any normal news. I actually want to take a look at. So let's take a look at this. So a few issues here. What about Australia? I think we should be fine because the CyLynk website is working. So I think that's a good thing. Oh boy. Well, let's not get carried away. This is not why we came here. Guys, remember you can obviously contribute to the conversation in the comment section. So guys, definitely do contribute. Definitely do chime in. We want to hear from you guys. We want to know what's going on. I think it's just best. Let's go straight to bleeding computers, and then we'll also go to dark reading. So for those who do not know all of the different platforms that I'm taking a look at right now, if I can actually type, we want dark reading. Oh, seriously. I think this is it. And then the other one I'm going to go to, I believe talkback.sh might not have this vulnerability because it hasn't been long enough. And I don't think the RSS feed would have put by now. So let's take a look at that, and then the hacker news. Yep. Let's take a look at those three sources so we can see what's going on there. All right. So there seems to be a fair bit of things that are going on. So there you go. React2Shell. That's the vulnerability we're looking for. And guys, this one is right off the press. And Ravi Lakshmanan is the dude who wrote this one. Ravi, shout out to you, my friend. And then also we have the same that is going on. But this one, I think Bleeding Computer goes to talk about how it impacted Cloudflare a bit more as well. So I think we'll look at both articles to see what's been going on. And this one is by Segu Gatland. And then dark reading. What does dark reading have about this one? React2Shell vulnerability under attack from China Nexus Group. Again, we cannot substantiate this, and I would say allegedly because we don't know a lot about it. So let's actually take a look at this. Let's dive right in, dissect, and look at what's going on here. All right, let's go. Okay, let's go. Yeah, let's go. All right. That one took a little bit longer. A critical vulnerability affecting the popular open source JavaScript library React is under attack by none other by nation state threat actor. CVE 2025-55182. Guys, this one is going to be etched into our memory for the foreseeable future. So, yeah. Yes. I believe so. That's the case with Security Blue Team, one of our partners. So, guys, take a look at this vulnerability, which was disclosed on Wednesday. Guys, Wednesday this week. This was like a few days ago. Is an unauthenticated remote code execution vulnerability. Guys, if you have not spent a lot of years in cybersecurity and you're looking at an unauthenticated remote code execution, that is as bad as it gets. It doesn't get any worse than this. Like if a vulnerability is not authenticated and it's a remote code execution vulnerability, that's pretty much, you might as well just leave your web application without a password, because that's literally what it is. Like, threat actors can get in and get out as they see fit. So that's what we're seeing here. And we're going to dive right into what's obviously happening and what is contributing to this particular vulnerability. I'm going to move my screen a little bit to the right, I believe, just so you guys can see me properly, see the thing properly. Yep, there we go. So, okay, that impacts the React Server Component RSC protocol version 19.0, 19.1, 19.11, 19.2 of 3 packages: React Server Done Webpack and React Server Done Parcel and React Server Done Turbo Pack, and it's caused by unsafe desterialization. I wonder if AI coded this one, guys. I wonder if AI vibe coded this vulnerability into being, because this is big. Because of the severity of the bug, the ubiquity of React, and that it can cause pre-authentication remote code execution, it receives a CVSS score of 10. Guys, that's big. Mind-blowing. CVSS score of 10 is almost akin as saying that this is the worst of the worst that it can get. Right? That's what, like, CVSS score 10 is often referred to or reserved for vulnerabilities that are just bad. Like when I say something is bad, it is really bad. So that's essentially what is happening here. The highest severity possible. Security researchers have referred to the vulnerability as React2Shell, a reference to the devastating Log4Shell. You know what's funny is that I was literally talking about Log4j earlier this week, which was on Thursday, unbeknownst to me, and I was sharing with people how then when Log4j vulnerability happened, which was in December 2021, I believe it was on the 19th of December that it came out. And I remember that I'm still very jitty from having to deal with that vulnerability as a threat detection engineer. I was writing detection code day in, day out, and when I write it, there's a bypass. When I write a new detection code, there's a bypass, and there was no information anywhere, and I ended up missing Christmas because of Log4j. So whenever I see anything that has to do with React2Shell or 2Shell or shell in its name, I begin to have panic attack and PTSD, right? So, yes. So, yes, Mr. Internal Stranger, I did read it. So, I did talk about that. Hopefully, you did hear me. So, SBT does have a Christmas event that they're running. So, if anyone who's wanting to take a look at that can, we'll probably take a look at it before we finish today. We don't have a lot of time. Let's go on. So, I was sharing about that earlier this week, and that was a bit crazy. So, a second related CVE with a maximum severity score tracked as 2025 66478 covers downstream impact of the RCS vulnerability on the Nest.js framework, right? So, guys, this is 2 different vulnerabilities, and they both have the same CVSS score. Patches for CVSS 2025 551882 are now available for React version 19.01, 19.12, 2.1, and affected customers are urged to apply the relevant patches as soon as possible. For downstream impact, mitigations are also generally available. Nest.js maintainer Verso, for example, has published guidance for CVSS 2025 66478 and releases patches for affected versions of the framework, right? So the security community acted quickly with a wide range of maintainers and vendors working to contain the threat as soon as it became public. That said, while it was unclear at first whether React2Shell was under attack, that unfortunately no longer is the case, right? So China Nexus actor targets React2Shell. In a blog post on Thursday, I believe that would have been December the 2nd, Amazon Chief Information Security Officer CJ Moses warned that within hours of CVSS 2025 55182's public disclosure on December 3rd, all right, I'll have a look at that. Right, basically pay to win, which other platforms don't have. Well, I'm sure that there is perhaps a reason for that. I'll get to that, Alex. Just give me a second. So he added that the majority of the observed anonymous system numbers, ASN, for unattributed activities are associated with the Chinese infrastructure, right? So, guys, if you have no idea what ASN is, I believe we did cover what ASN is in one of the Nerd Nights that we did. I believe it was Nerd Night 50 or something further confirming that most exploitation activity originated from that region. So basically, think of ASN as like a border gateway router that helps the internet find your IP address a lot quicker, or helps DNS servers find you a lot quicker. So that's essentially what an ASN is. Hopefully I haven't butchered that definition, because I want to move on pretty quickly. Furthermore, it read that threat actors are using automated scanning tools and proof of concept exploit, many of which are now functional, to target vulnerable organizations in those cases. However, threat actors are targeting more than the vulnerabilities of vulnerability of the moment. So there's also another vulnerability that the threat actors are obviously sort of targeting. But guys, this is why this stuff is big. So if we actually have a look at what Cloudflare is kind of dealing with, because like over 90% of the internet uses Cloudflare as a WAF, web application firewall, which obviously means one thing, that every single attack that is targeted at a website or at a platform or a web application has to go through WAF, which that WAF would be Cloudflare. So no wonder Cloudflare was literally running around trying to figure out a way to patch this. So it is safe to say that the security engineers at Cloudflare were definitely not sleeping over the last 48 hours, and will perhaps not do so over the next 48 hours. So earlier today, Cloudflare experienced a widespread outage that caused websites and online platforms worldwide to go down, returning a 500 internal server error message. The internet infrastructure company has now blamed the incident on the rollout of emergency mitigations designed to address the critical remote code execution vulnerability in React server components, which is now actively exploited in attacks worldwide, right? The issue was not caused directly or indirectly by a cyber attack on Cloudflare systems or malicious activity of any kind. Instead, it was triggered by changes being made to our body passing logic while attempting to detect and mitigate an industry-wide vulnerability disclosed this week in React server component, right? So this is a CTO, Dane Knecht, noted in a post, a post-mortem. So a post-mortem is essentially when they've kind of done a post-investigation. A subset of customers were impacted, accounting for approximately 28% of all HTTP traffic served by Cloudflare. So 28% of all Cloudflare hosted or protected services were basically impacted by this. So if you're someone who is using Cloudflare, this is obviously going to impact you. Now, whilst this is obviously really big, the thing that makes this even bigger, guys, is what I'm about to tell you. Wait for it. 90% of website owners do not actually know what technology their platform was built with in the backend. So you could have a website out there, or perhaps any of the services that you use, any of the online web applications that you use, that actually use React and Next.js in the backend without you knowing. And this is the thing, because it's a framework. It is a web development framework, which means it's not like it's not a server, it's not an operating system. It is basically a framework that is used to build web applications. So which means if you're not someone who is technically savvy, or someone who has built the website yourself, if you built a website with an agency of some sort, and they've delivered a website to you, you would not know that your website is running React in the backend, which would obviously lead to you being vulnerable to this particular attack. So if anyone who's obviously running any website of any sort, definitely go and take a look at your platform to see if you have React running in the backend. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So to check what website or what application is running behind any website, I'm going to use Google, for example, just so I don't, or I'll use example.com so I don't work on anyone's website. So guys, this is how to do that. So if you go to example.com and you go and download this application, or this what would I perhaps call it? This extension, this browser extension called Wapalizer. Wapalizer will tell you what technologies are running. Now, obviously, this is not 100% guaranteed. There are sometimes that threat actors will actually use something called banner sweep, or a banner cleanup, where they've essentially concealed the banners of the application that is running in the backend, which means this application would likely not tell you what is going on there. But in this case, you can see that this application is running HTTP version 3, right? Now, if we go to another public platform like Bing, and if we refresh Bing and go back to that same application, Web Analyzer, we can see that they're using Akamai Boot Manager. They're using HSTP for security. HSTS for security. They're using HTTP 3. They're using Open Graph, and there's RSS on this particular server. And you can see other things as well, like the CDN, which is the content delivery network, is Akamai. You can see that there's obviously performance. So this actually shows you all of the different libraries as well that is running on here. And this is exactly how you can find if your website is using Next.js or React framework. And if it is, you definitely want to go and make sure that you've patched and you've installed the latest versions of this. So definitely go ahead and check that. If you know anyone who's running a website, show them this particular episode of NerdKnight 6067 and show them how they can download Wapalizer and use that to go to their website. Once they go to their website, they can actually see what software. So you can see here, Dark Reading is using React. So I don't know. I did not mean to show that, but these guys would potentially be vulnerable if they don't actually patch it. That's exactly the thing, guys. So go and check this out. Of course, obviously, you guys know that I always say this. Every single thing that I show you guys and teach you on this channel and on this session and within CyLynk.com, every single thing that we do in an organization, we encourage you to not use it for anything illegal. So do not use this as a guide on how to commit cyber attack. Use this only for educational purpose. CyLynk or the link group of companies or Hck4Good does not hold any responsibility for what you do. So therefore, we choose to encourage you to hack for good as opposed to hack for evil. Without any further ado, guys, that's been NerdKnight Threat Landscape today. Does anyone have any questions? Does anyone have any questions, guys? I will give myself a hand clap if no one's going to give me a hand clap, right? Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Yeah, appreciate it. Mwah. Thank you. I am very humbled by that. All right, guys. If no one has any questions, we'll go to address what Internet Stranger is talking about in the comment section. So talking about SBT, they have released a Christmas event, but it has little shady mix to it, basically pay to win, which other platform does not have. Right, so Internet Stranger, I'm going to check to see if I can find your message. I do not have any information with regards to this, but I'm going to take a look at it. Enjoy the first 2 labs for free. Continue the adventure with a pro BTLO subscription to unlock the final 3. Entry into prize draw is available after completion of 2 labs. More labs completed, more entries. So I don't see anything different from that. Internet Stranger, like, I can understand your reservation with the way they've done it, but the whole reason why they're doing that, they're a business that needs to make money. So they're basically saying, out of the events we're doing, you can complete 2 labs out of that for free. And if you want to continue doing it, you need to do more. But nowhere in that does it say that you're not allowed to win a prize. It actually says that once you complete those 2 free labs, you'll be entered into to win. So, entry into prize draw is available after completion of 2 labs. So you can still actually get in to win those prize draws by just completing those free labs. So perhaps there's an aspect of it that I don't understand. I don't know, but to me, like, it's just a business saying to you, hey, we would like to do this stuff. And this is what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm not defending Security Blue Team here, but they're a partner, and I know and I trust them. They are trying their best to obviously deliver good quality content out there. And I remember when I was having a chat with Seb, hopefully you guys saw that episode of myself and Seb. Let me see if I can find it on Google. Seb 24 and Semi Chucks. This one. So hopefully you guys watched this episode. If you did not, go and watch. I encourage you to go and watch this podcast that I had with Seb. So welcome to Hck4Good. The really important thing with this episode is that it goes through to actually highlight some key points. And one of those points is that the content is cheap doesn't actually mean a lot. Like, information on ChatGPT is free if you're using the free version. But what sort of information would actually get you into a job? What sort of information and what sort of technical hands-on training will actually help you succeed? And this is the point. Like, the point of it isn't necessarily that the content becomes free, is that the content delivers value. And for me, that's really important. Oh well, absolutely, yes. Internet stranger, I do see your point. Like that is true. If you don't pay, you don't get to enter into all of the different entries. But they haven't actually locked it down to say that you won't win any prize. And wouldn't you agree with me that it is fair for those who have obviously paid for it to get more value because they're paying for it? And this is essentially one of the things that I kind of, for me, this is why I say to people that our platform, CyLynk.com, does not exist to be a cheap alternative. We don't exist to be a cheap platform. Now, we are very affordable. We are cheap for a reason. It is not because we want to be cheap. We're cheap because a lot of the people that our platform was built for and is built for and will continue to serve are people in underserved communities and untapped regions. So therefore, we need to make sure that they're able to afford it. But that's not necessarily the reason why. That's not what makes our platform different. That's not what makes us different from Hack2Box or TryHackMe or Sense or all of these other platforms. Even though we're significantly cheaper than them, that's not our selling point. I never want people to buy our platform because it's cheaper. I want people to buy or subscribe into our platform because it contains job-ready, focused, hands-on training, and it is accessible. So those two things are really important to me. They are more important than content being cheap, because the cheap content, again, like I said before, there's a lot of training platforms out there that are free. Now, I'm not saying that every single training platform is free. Every single training platform that is free is rubbish. Please don't hear what I'm not saying. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, we live in a world where you have to fight for resources. And whatever that's going to consume resources, it has to be dedicated resources in the first place, right? And the best way that we know how to apportion resources is by labor, like cost of labor. It's by paying electricity bills. It's by hosting a platform. So all of those different reasons are reasons why it makes sense to pay for good content. And I would say to you guys that I would rather pay $500 for a good quality cybersecurity training that actually cared about outcome and value than paying $10 for one that doesn't care about those things, that they genuinely just care about, let's make it cheaper. Because cheaper doesn't mean better. Cheaper doesn't mean valuable. Cheaper doesn't mean outcome. And this is something that I genuinely believe that we need to be more careful about in cybersecurity. And, let's not focus on making things cheaper. Let's focus on making things more valuable, more quality, right? Well, again, these are two different. Internet Stranger, I see your point. So Internet Stranger is saying that Strange Decision, considering science, has a free holiday challenge. TryHackMe has its free challenge as well. Even though they put a lot more effort in invite content and invite content creators. Again, these are two different business organizations. I'm sure they have different reasons why they're doing things. Like an example is SBT is our partner, but they're not us. I've just told you one of the two things that set us apart. So because of that, I'm not going to speak for someone else. I can't speak to defend them, knowing that they're a business and I understand how business works. But at the end of the day, they have a business they're running, and at the end of the day, that's how they choose to do it. And I have nothing against that. That's just my honest, genuine opinion that is not biased. And literally, this is how honest I am about this. I did not even know that they were running that campaign. They sent me an email about it, but I never read it because I was too busy running around for the conference that we just did, Hack for Good conference and CTF. So I wasn't too aware of this event. I knew that there was something going on, but I wasn't too aware of it. So I have not read this stuff that you just sent me, Internet Stranger. The point remains that these platforms have to actually keep the lights on, and if that is how they choose to do it, I have no issues with it. And they have gone above and beyond to provide free access to labs every single month on their platform, which we have done the same as well. So guys, if you want to obviously start learning for free, go ahead and sign up so you can start learning on the CyLynk.com platform. Start learning for free. So guys, this is how you can sign up. To sign up, it's free. It takes less than 2 minutes, and bada boom, you are good to go. All right, guys, let's get into the game of the day. So what do we have today? Let's see. So, Internet Stranger, I am going to, you said to explain what is an ASN. So let's find out. So autonomous system, ASN, an autonomous system is a set of internet routed IP address prefixes belonging to a network or a collection of networks that are all managed, controlled, and supervised by a single entity or organization. So the way I kind of say it, if you don't want to read too much into the big definition, it's basically saying that, hey, imagine if you bought a bunch of, if you buy, like think of it this way as if you buy an estate and that estate has a well-known address and every single other house inside of that is a unit. So if the estate is number 10, Nepean Highway, Melbourne, Australia, whatever the number is, the actual number of the house, then each one of those houses within the complex is number 1, number 10.1, number 10.2, number 10.3, number 10.4. So that way, it actually enables someone who's looking for that house to know exactly where to go to, because the first thing they're going to hit first is number 10. And then once they get to number 10, they know they need to look for number 1 out of number 10 or number 2 or number 5 or number 6, depending on how many complexes are there. So ASNs they're really good for routing, and they allow you to be able to reserve a bunch of IP address for a specific region. So like one of the really good things that I know that ASN does is that it aids, and that also helps with latency, network latency. So by network latency, I simply mean by, on average, a DNS server, an authoritative DNS server, would need to ask around to find out who owns what server. But if you have an ASN, you can actually pre-register that to platforms like Cloudflare or whatnot to say, hey, here I am, here's my ASN. Every single person who's looking for me, you can give them, they have this ASN in their IP address, or sorry, in their packet, then send it to me. That way, the DNS server doesn't have to spend a lot of time trying to search who is 10.10.10.10 or who is 192.168.100.1. It obviously look at the ASN and goes, oh, I know that ASN. I know that ASN. That ASN belongs to this border gateway router. And then that border gateway router would then route the traffic to the appropriate IP address. Hopefully that helps. That's basically what an ASN is used for. I'm sure there are other uses of an ASN, but that's basically one of the things that it helps solve. So if you think of the analogy of a housing complex with multiple units inside of it, that's essentially what an ASN does. It helps you be able to get one address that can then be divided across multiple IP addresses within the same block. All right, let's move past this really quickly and actually take a look at what we came for today. So, guys, we are going to be downloading and installing Metasploitable today. So, what is Metasploitable? So, for those who do not know, if you perhaps have been in cybersecurity for a while now and you still don't know what Metasploitable is is a framework that was designed. I believe who designed it? Who made Metasploitable? I thought that was it was Tenable, but let me double check that. Oh, I think it's Tenable. Rapid7. Sorry, my bad. It's Rapid7, and it's delivered by SourceForge. I believe so. Yep. So let's take a look at this content. I'll go back to my share screen version. So a test environment provides a secure place to perform penetration testing and security research, including detection testing as well, right? So again, I think by now everyone knows that CyLynk.com is a people teaming focused platform. So we do both attack and defend within cybersecurity. Again, another unique selling point, right? Please, I never want us to be a platform that is said is cheap. That's not why we exist. Like, this was something I had to battle with in my heart for long. Our platform does not exist to be cheap. Now, we are cheap, because of the people that we serve, because of our heart as an organization for those who are in underserved communities and untapped regions. But that does not necessarily mean that we are a cheap platform. The reason we exist as a platform is not to be cheap. It is to be job-ready, focused first, hands-on, practical, and it is to be accessible. So a platform that is genuinely accessible to someone in India, someone in Africa, someone in Asia Pacific, someone in America, someone in South America, North America, a platform that genuinely feels local. That is what makes us unique. And obviously, another thing that makes us unique, like I just said, is that we are a people teaming focused platform. So we're not a just attack, pen testing training platform. We're not just a security analyst training platform. No. We serve every single domain of cybersecurity, including IT as well. And we go into domains like defensive security, offensive security, cloud security, GRC, ITOT, which is ICS, industrial control system security. And then eventually we're going to also be able to do AI security. So this is a one-stop shop for you to get access to everything. And guess what, guys? For $50, for just $50 a month, you can get access to all of our different domains. Yes, Alex, I can definitely raise that point to you with regards to transparency. I don't necessarily think that it's non-transparent. And it's probably a case of you and I seeing it differently. It clearly says there that, hey, that's the fact that it's asterisk means note. That's basically what asterisk means. It means there. So for those who are obviously wondering what we're talking about here, this is the securityblueteams.online. The spooky take up the challenge event that they just did. It's called Snowpine. And Alex is highlighting the point that they allow you to do only 2 labs and then ask you to pay for the remaining 3 that are left in the event. So I'm saying that asterisk means take note of this. That's really what that means to me. And I'm just being genuine with you. So there's no there's no hidden agenda anywhere. I don't see an asterisk means to mean that they're hiding something. It means please take note. Unless anyone thinks of asterisk as something different. That's what I remember it as. I'm not an English teacher, obviously. You guys know that I am not an English teacher.
I wish I'm an English teacher.
Oh, boy. All right. So, Metasploitable 2 is available at information.rapid7 here, so we can download it there. You can also download it from sourceforge.net. Now, I've had issues with downloading Metasploitable from SourceForge, so I'm probably going to try to download it here, but I think sometimes it actually reroutes you back to SourceForge. Oh, there we go. So it's downloading for us now. That's awesome. So we'll wait for that to download. So if you have not already downloaded that, guys, go ahead and do that. And let's take a look at our notes. Of course, you guys know that we like to take good notes. Hang on, that's not working. So let's minimize this for a second. And let's put this out. So definition and installation. Resource links. So one of them is this. So that's installation. And then documentation. So I believe there's a documentation URL here. So this is a guide for it. So that's what we need. So we can see this kind of takes us through how to actually configure the virtual machine. So this is a VDI image. Now, the reason it's a VDI image means that it simply means that we don't have to actually go and install it from scratch. It's already been installed. So it's going to give us a VDI image that we can literally just import into VirtualBox, I believe. We can import that into VirtualBox straight away. Virtual machine. So the Metasploitable virtual machine is an intentionally vulnerable version of Ubuntu Linux designed for testing security tools and demonstrating common vulnerabilities. Version 2 of the virtual machine is available for download and ships with even more vulnerabilities than the original image. The virtual machine is compatible with VMware, so we can do both VMware and VirtualBox. So in this particular demo, I think we're probably going to be doing VMware, VMware Player, I believe. Let me see. Workstation 17 Player. So the non-commercial version, guys, that's what I'm using. So I've already got a Kali box there and I've got a Windows 10 VM there. So I'll just go ahead and add another. I believe I can add another VM. I hope so. Does it not let you add one more? Oh, that sucks. I remember deleting that today. Oh no, I deleted my VM. I was like, what is that is killing my computer space? Thinking that I had saved it somewhere else, I nuked it. Yikes. Oh no. I might have to stop the stream and go fix that. No, this is just sad. But guys, I'm just gonna show. We're just gonna read through it, and I'll record a different video of myself installing it from scratch, and that might help. And by the way, oh here, that's where I need to get it from. Let me see before I stop the stream. Let me see if I can restore it. Come on. Is there a way to restore it? No. Oh, this is sad. This is sad. No. Yeah, I think it might be gone. And if I choose to install a new Kali image, that's going to take forever. And no one has that time. I'll go ahead and record my screen and install it anyways for those who want to watch it later, and then I will upload it. Oh no, this sucks. Okay. This sucks big time. Oh, sorry guys. I realized I wasn't sharing the right screen. So, okay. Even my recycle bin doesn't have a Y. I just deleted it. Why isn't it here? Probably a large file that decided to completely be nuked out of the drive. Yeah, I think it just decided to be nuked out of the drive. Well, here we have it. So the only choice we kind of have at the moment, do I still have a Windows 11, a Windows 10 VM? Get rid of that from my library. So this is our choice. Let's go and see if I have any virtual machine in my D drive. So guys, in case you want to see what I'm doing, hopefully I don't have any confidential information in here. I think I do have a Kali box here. Let's see if it works. And that would be a massive saving grace. But I doubt it actually is up to date. And I doubt if I have this virtual might have been moved or copied in order to configure certain management and network features. VMware player needs to know if the virtual machine was moved or copied. If you don't know, answer I copied it. Guys, let's just pray and hope that this works. Let's pray and hope that I also remember the password. And this is a very old version of Kali. I don't know when I saved this image. So there's perhaps going to be a bit of apt-get update upgrade to be done here. But hopefully it'll save us the time of having to do this. Whilst we're waiting for that. Oh, by the way, I want to show you guys something. So whenever you're trying to install a virtual machine and somehow you click on it and your mouse gets locked, all you have to do is basically you need to click I think it's the Control Delete on your keyboard, and that should release it. So there you go. Where's my mouse? Wait a minute. Yeah, there you go. So if you do Control Delete on your keyboard, if you're using an actual desktop keyboard, it's better to do it on the right-hand side as opposed to the left-hand side Control Delete, because obviously there's no delete on the left-hand side, because that means you have to sort of go all the way there to then get it. So it's best to do it on the other side. So guys, this is a moment of truth. If this does not work, then I am done. Come on. Oh no. Oh, come on. What could the password be? No, I don't know what the password is. Oh no. Come on. Okay. So let me have a look at the. Sometimes you can find out what password your VM is by going to the player. So let me take a look at the player to see if I find anything useful there. So sometimes you can find out your password by going to settings. Well, why can I not take a look at it seriously? All right. So I have to shut this down. Okay. Does anyone know a quick way to get away from having to do this? I've tried every single password that I typically use. The other thing I can think of right now is the other password I can think of is this. But I doubt it is that. I doubt it is this. Is that frozen for real? How many gig of RAM did I put on it? I think it might be frozen. All right, let's shut it down. Wait, it says it's not. What? Makes no sense. Power off. Let's see. I think I do have a Kali. In the amount of time it's taking me to do this, it's 3 gig RAM, so that should have been fine. So typically, what you can do sometimes in your VM is to add a like auto logon. So in this case, I did not add an auto logon, and sometimes you can also leave the password as a general information. So in this case, I did not either. So the story of my life. So I think we are better off deleting this, or at least remove it from library, and then going to start a new virtual machine altogether from an installer disk. And let's see if we can find a Kali box, a Kali image somewhere. I think I might have Kali ISO here. This was downloaded in, yep, let's see. Is that Kali Purple or not? I don't know. Let's see, next. It's Linux. So for those who don't know how to install Kali on VMware, I guess welcome to the party. All right, this case, we don't want to install it there anymore. So let's install that inside of my D drive, which has 1 terabyte of storage. And then there's supposed to be the need for VMs. All right, and next. Well, continue. They're not going to have the same name. So give me 50 gigs. So this is just giving it some thinny. Now, in this case, like it's asking us if we want to split this into multiple partitions. We don't necessarily care about that. So I've tried Kali, yes, Internet Stranger, thank you. So the key thing here, the reason we don't want to split it into multiple disk images is because we don't necessarily care about partitions in this case. Typically, when you're installing a virtual machine on an enterprise environment, you might want to split it into different disk images, especially if you have different purposes that virtual machine solves, and it allows you to be able to install different applications on different partitions and also control security on that server. But in this case, we don't necessarily care too much about that. I think I'll make this 60 gig just in case. Let's go next. And it's getting 4 gig of RAM. I probably should give it a bit more, 2 cores. 2 cores of processor should be fine on a given day. No, I don't want to use any of those. Intel VP. So let's just finish and install it. And then whilst that is installing, let's also install the thing that we just downloaded. So let me move that out of the folder that I think it is currently in at the moment. Bear with me. All right, so it's here. It's here. So if you haven't already downloaded your own version, go ahead and do that. And let's move that out into backup, I think. And then I think, so I can see that here. What I need to do is maybe move it into, create a new folder. Well, actually, maybe move it into NerdKnight. That way, it's just in a clean place. Because I use this laptop for quite a few things. All right, I'm just going to share this with you guys now so you can see. So I've got that, and let's minimize. So let's actually unpack this before we can obviously install it. Now, typically I will literally just follow the pathway or the instruction that is on that website. But because we know that this is just something that is normal on average, we don't necessarily care too much about making sure that we follow the guide step by step, the installation guide. So in this case, we could do that by literally just taking a look at this. So it's asking you to give it 8 gig and 1 gig disk space. In this case, we're going to give it 4 gig and we're going to give it like 10 gig disk space, or 15 gig just to be safe. And then it supports all of these different browsers. And this kind of takes you through the process of installing it once you've gotten it. In this case, okay, on a separate system, you may experience performance problems if you attempt to run both products on the same machine. For more information on installing, next post, visit this, installing Metasploit on Windows. So we're not necessarily trying to install Metasploit, we're installing Metasploitable. Setting up vulnerable target. Yep, that's what we want. I think I must have missed that. I don't think there's an actual guide here on how to do that. So I think we're definitely on our own, but there's no issue here. It's just pretty much unzip that file that we just downloaded that I just showed you guys. So right click, assuming you have WinZip or something already there, or 7-zip. If you don't already have that, you can obviously download that by going to NerdKnight.com. So guys, this is a desktop publishing application out there that allows you to be able to download different softwares that you want. You can thank me later. So you can actually download something like, let's say, Archive. So you can download this, click on that, or click on PZip. Now, WinRAR, I think about 3 or 4 years ago, they used to be really good. They allow you to do archiving and compression and decompression for free. But now they kind of require you to pay them for their pro subscription. So save yourself the trouble and just focus on using 7-zip or any of those other available applications. Of course, you can use the native Windows available one for this. So let's assume that we're going to just go through and do what I just described. So right click and extract. So this is going to extract everything inside of the same folder, so you can sort of see where it's going to extract into. And then let's click on extract, and then it's just going to go through and do its thing. Once it's done, we've got a folder that we can then point the VM to. So whilst we're waiting for that to install, guys, if you do have any questions, please feel free to put that in the comment section, so I can attend to it. All right, I think we're done with that decompression. So now we need to open this up to see what is inside of it. So we can see there's just that, and we can see that the file is in there. So in this case, what we need to do is, in this case, we're not actually installing a new virtual machine from scratch. So so let's go back a little bit. Install disk. And that's not what we want. So cancel that and open a virtual machine. So we want to open a virtual machine because I told you guys that this is already installed. So we don't need to install it all over again. But we do need to assign it a hard drive, hard disk, or storage that it's going to use. So in this case, this is stored in my downloads folder. I go to backup, NerdKnight 67, and then I open that. So that's the file I need. Right, so this is the image file that I need to be able to run it. Now, the key thing here is that once we've got this started, the first thing we probably want to do is, before we start this virtual machine, we need to edit it. So the reason we're doing that is, if you remember there, it recommended 1 gig of RAM and a certain gig of hard drive and whatnot. And you can see by default, it currently has 512 of RAM, which will not be enough. And it currently has 1 processor. We don't necessarily want to change it to two processor cores. We want to leave it at 1 processor cores, but we certainly want to give it more RAM. So in this case, I'll probably give it 2 gigs. So that's 2,000. Hey, how much RAM do you think I have? So let's give it 2 gigs because we're going to be like hitting this pretty hard by running scans. So it just makes sense to do that. Just making sure. Yep, we've got it, 2 gigs. And then with the disk size, I'm just going to assign it. So we can see where this is currently being installed at the moment. So we are going to do advanced. And then currently it's installing in here. Like it's not the biggest deal in the world. I don't think it's gonna let us do much in terms of moving the file, but we can certainly give it 15 gigs or 20, depending on how much you have, obviously. But the reason I'm putting 15 in there is just in case we need to like move any file in there. So we're expanding this from 8 gigs to 15 gigs. And guys, just to remind you, obviously what we've done so far is we are trying to install my Kali box back up so that it's ready to run. Now, if we can achieve installing both of these two virtual machines today and we can ping them, I'll be very happy with that outcome. And obviously, I think you all saw what happened to me. I unintentionally deleted my Kali image, and now I'm having to basically go back to square one. So now you can see that we've obviously updated all of the configuration of this virtual machine. So if we go away from it and come back to it, we should get better reading. I don't know why this one is saying this. Yeah, there you go. So that's 4 gig there. I think we've got everything we want for this one. And I think we can start this, maybe just rename it and call it Kali Lab, CyLynk Kali Lab. All right. And so let's say we start that one, because this one is going to take a bit to install because it's the Kali that had never been installed before. And I'm going to show you guys how to approach installing it for the first time. By the way, just bear in mind that you can do exactly what I'm doing right now in, say, VirtualBox. I'm using the VMware Workstation 17 player, the non-commercial version, because I kind of prefer the way that it works sometimes, especially when it comes to supporting certain drivers. I prefer VMware because things like you don't have to install the guest pack, which you have to do in VirtualBox. So this one basically just gives you everything inside of one pack. So we can see here, we want to do a graphical install. You don't have to do a graphical install, but I'm doing a graphical install just to show you how you could do this. All right, so there we are. That is working now. I'm going to remove my face from this so you guys can obviously see this fully, so you don't have to look at my face.
Choose the language to be used for the installation process. The selected language will also be the default language for the installed system.
This is so cool.
1, C, no localization. 2, Albanian, SHKIP.
Where is
3,
English?
Amharic Ethiopic letter 12A0, Ethiopic letter 121B, Ethiopic letter 122D, Ethiopic letter 129B. 4, Arabic A, Arabic R, Arabic yeah. 5, Assyrianu 6, Bangla 7, Basque Euskara Blan 2.
So let's go English. Hang on, did I just go past English? Yeah, English. So we had some alien.
Location will be used to set your time zone. 1, 2, 3, 2.
All right, we've got Australia.
Configure the keyboard. Key map to use. 1. American blank. 2.
So we want UK keyboard. So let's look for a UK keyboard. So we need to scroll all the way to U. How do I shut this thing up? What? Doesn't it have an English keyboard that's not American? For the love of God. I guess we can use American keyboard. It sucks, but no offense to Americans. I'm not saying that America sucks. I'm just saying that I prefer to use the. Oh wait, I can see British English. Yeah, there you go.
Detecting hardware to find installation media 2%, 95%, 100%.
Aren't you guys loving this?
1%, 10%, 20%, 31%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%, 81%, 90%, 100%. Loading additional components 0%, 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%.
I'm gonna pause it because it's beginning to annoy me. But hopefully you guys can still hear me. Because I just paused my sound.
Network hardware 2%, 95%, 100%. Detecting link on ends.
So that's going now. I think we should be good to go. Once that is all installed, so it's asking me please enter a host name. So in this case, we'll give it Metasploitable. So the host name we give it is Metasploitable. I don't think it's case sensitive at all. So Metasploitable 2. And so it's asking us the domain name. So we don't need a domain name for this. We just press enter because we don't need any. So set up a username. So the username here would be, what would I actually remember? Let's do Kali, just for the sake of it. Like as you guys could tell that I forgot my other username. Yeah. It makes sense to not actually forget another username again. So just for the sake of it, let's actually pick something that we can remember. So let's pick Kali, although my brain might not necessarily remember it. So let's pick Link Lab. I think Link Lab should do. So Link Lab and then password. So select username for your new account. I've already done that. Oh, the real name of this user. Seriously. So make sure to select the strong password. So in this case, what password do we want? Oh, hang on. I don't think it allows case sensitivity. So there we have it. I wonder if that will work, but hopefully it does. Well, I figured, duh. So in this, hang on, that's wrong as well. Enter the empty password. So please choose a non-password. Press enter to continue. Let's try that again. What do you mean? I think that worked now. So we'll do Victoria, I guess. This was supposed to be a graphical install. I guess maybe it actually did number 2 rather than graphical install. That's why we're not able to install it using the graphical user interface. But I guess this is more fun because, guys, we did get to hear an alien robot voice, like the Terminator. We actually had Terminator today live at NerdKnight. Cool. Is there a way to zoom in a little bit, just for you guys, just to make sure you can see me? I think that's about as much as you can zoom because there's no actual operating system to it yet. Oh, hang on. No, that's not what I want. Close, maximize, size. So all of that is grayed out. File, power. I don't want any of those. Manage, message logs, exit. I think we're good. We're just waiting for the last prompt to go. All right. If you choose guided partitioning for an entire disk, you would next be asked which disk should be used. So we use the first one because we're not too forced. Like I said, we want to use the entire disk. And we don't want to use LVM encryption at all. So it's saying that, so that's the only disk available obviously here. So that's the 64 gig we chose. So all files in one partition, that's exactly what we want. So again, in this case, we don't necessarily care about that. I think it'll still automatically create a 1 gig swap memory. That's just by default, so that's fine. So guided partitioning. I think we've already done this. Use entire disk. Wait, is this sending us back? Wait a minute. Oh, wait, I missed that. So we need to do 12. And so write the changes. Yes, we want to write the changes. This is the most fun Kali I've installed in a long time. Guys, has anyone in the comment section installed Kali in the core I guess screen or core method? But we're almost there. So for those who are obviously wondering, I think we've also got a Metasploitable VM also ready to go as well. So I'll just open that up just to make sure that we're all good. I will not start it because I don't want to use up too much RAM. But I think we should be good to go. So we've got a Metasploitable here, and we've got the Kali, the CyLynk Kali lab. So for those who are obviously perhaps don't have a lot of money to spend, like I recommend this to be a really good home lab to start with. Like 1 Kali box and 1 Metasploitable VM. And then you can then use this to learn a lot of different vulnerabilities. But you can also actually install like Splunk on one of these boxes and then send the logs. Again, for those who have obviously watched one of our old NerdKnights, you can actually install Splunk in the Kali box and then collect the logs from Metasploitable 2 and then use that to sort of see what's been going on. And I believe that's a really good way to set up a detection engineering or stock analyst lab as well. So like I said to you guys, we don't necessarily do just offensive security training. We do defensive security training. So from a defensive security point of view, the way to be thinking about this is essentially how do you configure proper auditing on Metasploitable 2 so that as you run a lot of those different attacks, you can actually put the logs in and start using the logs to sort of see what this sort of malicious activity or malicious commands or events would look like from a login point of view or from an auditing perspective, and then use that to then craft our detection logics that can be used to detect it. So I think we are almost done. Yes, we do want a desktop environment. So we want the default desktop environment, so no fuss. We need to actually go in there. What is going on here? It's not letting me use anything. Do I need to type? 1. Uh-oh. So default is equals 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Well, it says 20%. So what does that mean? Is that doing anything? I'm sure by selecting that 1, I probably should have selected 1. I believe 1, 5, 6, 7. I think so, or just 1 and 7, because that will solve the problem. But in this case, yeah, so it's doing something. I think it's installing. I'm just waiting. I guess whilst we're waiting, I can play some nice music at this point, but I kind of don't want to. $36. This is not what I signed up for a live stream. Oh, Sammy, what were you thinking? Let's go. So hopefully you guys can hear that. All right, we're currently at 39%, so let's see how far this goes. %, people, 40%. We're almost halfway through this pain. This is that moment when people go, we'll be back, we'll let it install and come back, and and it should be done. But of course, you guys know that here at CyLynk, we don't hide the messy stuff from everyone. I think that's one thing that everyone probably know me for, and know the work that my team and I do for, is that we don't hide the messiness. We let you guys see every part of it, the fun part, the not so fun part, and the crazy part, all alike. That is who we are. 44%. 47%. This is becoming too painful now. Oh, jeez. Oh, hey, Sosta stream, Sostroy stream. I am installing a Kali image, but we chose to go about it the hard way by installing the core, installing it via the CLI rather than the graphical user interface. So, welcome to the party. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the song. By the way, hopefully you guys are enjoying the song. 50%. We're almost there, guys. And if you're wondering why am I installing Kali live on stream, well, it turns out today I was staring at my C drive, and for some reason my C drive had like, I think it was like 10 gig worth left of space left in it, and I knew that the more I stored things in there, it'd probably just crash, making me lose everything. So I looked at my download folder and I saw that there was 30 gig in there. I looked at my document folder and I saw that there was like 80 gigs in there. I was like, what is responsible for all these gigs being taken away? And I saw that some VMs were there. And I know that I don't store my VM in my C drive. I store them in my D drive. So I just thought like a normal person that surely my VM is stored on my C drive. So I deleted it, not knowing that it's the current actual VM. So starting my stream today, again, there was no need for me to go and double check that the VM that I installed and used like this week or last week or whatever it is that I used it last is no longer there. Only to find out that I had deleted it unknowingly. So here I am installing Kali from scratch again. And I guess that's actually really good for anyone who has never installed Kali Linux in their lab environment. And we are also doing something quite unique. We are installing Metasploitable 2. So that next week we're actually going to start testing out some of the tools that are in there and testing out some of the vulnerable applications and vulnerabilities that are installed inside of Metasploitable 2. So guys, yes, that is essentially what I'm doing. Welcome to the party, mister. Hope you're having a great weekend. You guys said the music is very quiet. Let me know if it's better now. %, guys, 60%. We're almost there. Well, I don't know what we're then going to be able to do, but one thing is for sure, we've installed Metasploitable, so we can technically start that VM now. The reason I don't want to start it, hang on, why is it currently at 512? I thought we updated that to 2 gigs. Hang on, what happened here? Okay. Oh, there you go. For some reason, it did not save what we had done. Oh, well, it kept the 15 gig we set up, but did not keep the RAM space. So what I have seen in the past is that some people had downloaded Metasploitable 2 and unknowingly tried to start it with the 512 gig of RAM or what, megabytes of RAM. And for some reason, it wasn't working and did not actually realize that they needed to increase the RAM. So that's one thing to pay attention to. If you're installing Metasploitable 2, make sure you increase the default RAM settings from 512 to like 2 gig, or at least at bare minimum 1 gig. Now, with the Metasploitable 2, you are not going to have a graphical user interface because I don't think it's installed in there. So it's only going to be via the CLI, so which means there's less bloat overall that you have to deal with. So 2 gigs should be more than enough for the things that you're going to be doing with it. Guys, 74%, we're almost there. Bear with me. And obviously later on, once we trim this recording, we're going to shrink it down so that it does the typical thing where you say I'll be back and then you go and come back and it's done. So that's what we're going to do later. But for now, we're going to have to stick it out. We are going to have to stick it out. Come on, how hard is it to install a graphical user interface? Oh, seriously. I guess the good thing is that I've got some good music lined up. You guys are going to enjoy this. Guys, if you're loving this, you're loving the music, smash the like button. Smash the love button, guys. If you're loving the music selection, the playlist that I've got for you guys. Yes, that is correct, Nintendo Stranger. Oh, good Q5 cyber expert. You are here right on time. So if you're wondering what we're doing, we are installing Kali Linux from scratch. And we've just finished installing Metasploitable. So Metasploitable is obviously the vulnerable by design VM. And I was just saying to people that one of the things that makes CyLynk.com different and special is that our whole thing is not to do or provide cheap training. Even though our platform is probably one of the most affordable that you're going to find around, that is not our whole thing. That's not what we want to do. What we want to achieve is not that. So the thing that actually makes us unique and makes us special, like I've said before, is that we want to be a platform that is focused on job-ready training. That's it. Job-ready training, hands-on practical training, and accessibility. So the difference between affordability and accessibility is that something can be cheap, but if you cannot afford it, it's useless. I'll give you guys a perfect example of that is Amazon products are typically on average affordable. Like you could buy a piece of book on Amazon for $5 or $10. But imagine if that book is in the US or the UK and you're somewhere in New South Wales and you have to ship it down to Australia. On average, the shipping cost of that book is actually more expensive than the book. Now, that's what accessibility is all about. That's what accessibility refers to. Is that you can have something affordable, but it's not accessible to you. So we want to be the platform that is accessible. We want to be available in people's own currencies. And that is the first time that any other platform has ever done that. If you're in US, you're going to see our platform in USD. If you're in Australia, you're going to see our platform in AUD. If you're in Ghana, you're going to see our platform in Ghana cedis. If you're in India, you're going to see it in Indian rupees. If you're in South Africa, you're going to see it in South Africa rand. If you're in I was going to say Indonesia, but I have no idea what Indonesian currency is. So guys, I do have to study up. But that's what makes us special. So I was showing you guys hands-on how you could download and install Metasploitable and Kali as a bare minimum home lab that you can actually use to practice your skill. And also talking through the fact that we are not just a offensive security training platform. We are a fully fledged holistic cybersecurity platform that is focused on people teaming capability, which is both attack and defend. So our domains includes defensive security, offensive security, cloud security, AI security, ICSOT. Shout out to yourself, Peter, Sanam, and Rai for the incredible work that you guys do. We also have GRC training as well. So this is a one-stop shop platform that you can get job-ready cybersecurity training any day, anytime, both for individuals, for professionals, newbies, and organizations. We can also provide in-person training to organizations as well. So yeah, that's what makes us special. And guys, you've been watching me trying to install Kali, and we are at 87%. And hope you're loving the music so far. That's the best part. I feel like this is a watch party. Well, in a subscribe stream, you've already gotten a popcorn, so you're ready for this. I think a good milestone for tonight is if we can get this to 100%, right? I'll be very happy that we've installed the Kali. And secondly, if we can start both the Metasploitable VM and this VM and see if we can ping both of them. Like if we can do that, we've actually achieved what we're set out to do tonight. And then next week, we can actually start from NerdKnight 68, 69, and 70. We can actually focus on using this to demonstrate different types of vulnerabilities. So we're going to be using this lab setup that we've got right now for a lot of the labs that we're going to be doing over the next few weeks. So if you have not already installed this, go ahead and do so. %, guys, 90%. We're almost there. Well, I have no idea what it's going to be counting next. %, guys.
We are almost there. Come on, people.
Come on, come on, come on. Just a little bit more. %, guys. Finally. Woohoo! I have no idea what it's going to do next. It's now installing the bootloader. Oh, come on. That's very long. It's another. Are we? Oh, hang on. Install the bootloader on your primary device. Yes, I want to. I think there was a comment section or something. Someone added a comment. I think that's where we installed that. Let me double check. Can I scroll back up? No, I cannot. Oh no. Let's see. Guys, moment of truth. Let's see if this works. This is the longest I've had to wait for Kali to install. And we've been going now for almost, how long? Almost 2 hours. This was never intended to be a mega NerdKnight. But since we're heading towards that pathway now. So I think we're good. So let's see if we can reboot. I think we are in. So let's find out if we did this right. Now this epic music is definitely needed now. Uh-oh. Wait. Hold your breath, guys. Hold your breath. Hold your breath, people. Hold your breath. Come on. Oh, I think it's up. Let's see. Did I do this? I don't want that. Seriously. What? I did not forget my password. Did I give it a different name?
LYKAB. Password text.
Did that work or what? I think I had the wrong username. Yeah, I had the wrong username. Whoops! Guys, we did it! Well, I need to disable this accessibility first. That's driving me nuts. First of all, shut up. No one cares about you, mate. I have no idea how it enabled accessibility for me. Good, guys. We are live. So it's turned on now. It's working. All right, let's see if we can get Metasploitable started as well. So let's find out what the IP address is here. Again, we have to be very careful with this. I realized this after I had clicked 4 times or 3 times or so already. Like these VMs are really low spec. Like I've just given this only 4 gigs of RAM, so it's gonna take its time to catch up. So when you click, hold on. Why does this have Metasploitable 2 as a VM, as a host name? Hey, oh no, I gave it a, oh, come on. All right, let's see, IP add. So IP address is 192.168.213.134, and that is on Ethernet 0. So let's see if we can get Metasploitable up. Well, I copied it, I guess. So let's see. It's currently setting up Metasploitable for us. So let's see how that goes. Hey, I can be Ramadan. I have no idea what you mean by threat modeling suing stride in form of a diagram. I know what threat modeling is. That's not what I'm referring to, but like I also know what the stride threat modeling thing that was designed by, I believe it was by Microsoft. So what are you referring to specifically? Can you please put that in the comment section? Guys, we're almost done. We're almost done, and we can then end this stream in peace, knowing that we achieved what we set out to achieve. right? And I might do a dance or a rap song or whatever. I have no idea. So Metasploitable 2 should be a lot faster because we're not installing a full-fledged VM. But now I'm a bit worried because I thought I was setting that password and user and host name for Metasploitable. So that means we have to use the hostname and password that is found on the official website. So which would be MSF admin and MSF admin. So that would be the username and password here. So let's double check that works once it's booted and ready to go. Almost there, guys. Almost there. I believe only a tiny bit more left to go. So this should be finishing a lot quicker than I thought than it is right now. So I have no idea why the CPU is getting stuck. Is this normal? I don't believe this is normal. Like, let's just give it maybe a minute or two, and if it doesn't work, I think I might have to give this 2 CPU cores because it currently has 1 CPU core, and maybe that might be something that is impacting it. So like we've currently got, it wouldn't let me open this because it's currently running. But what I might do, hang on, cancel. What I might do is I'll go to Google and see bug soft lockup CPU 0 stuck for 11 seconds. So what is this? Oh, okay. All right. So we know that Metasploitable 2 is based on an Ubuntu server. So this post falls neatly on under the watching paint dry category. Issues susceptible to rage induced by reading terminally due post. I've read your eyes now. So I've been having some interesting issue with VMs running on VMware server of late. Basically, the problem involved kernel panic and the appearance of lots of messages and syslog that look like this. So 2 out of the 3 VMs, but the third one still showing the same error. Following a quick, but to pick up the newest edition of that work, I think to me is that what the cause of these issues. Well, that's not what I want. So let's just add in Metasploitable here. So just in case someone else have had this issue. There you go. Yep. Well, that's not the case for me. All right, so let's see if we can solve that issue by reading by what we've just read. So I'll stop the VM and drop the RAM back to 1 gig. Maybe it has to stay in 1 gig for some reason. Like, it makes no sense at all, but let's try it anyways. So let's save that and see if that works. And let's take a look at Task Manager. That'll probably be why. So I have no idea why Microsoft Edge is using 55% of my RAM. Heaven's sake. What am I running there? Yeah, that might be why, because it's saying that I don't have enough RAM. So let's see if using 1 gig would solve the problem. So it says starting up. I am stubbornly willing to let this be done today properly without stopping the stream. Come on, come on. Guys, it seems to be working. Right? Yep. We are in, people.
We made it. Yes. That took a bit longer than I thought, but we eventually made it. We are inside of
Metasploitable 2. Woohoo! Thank you, Rapid7. All right, let's do MS admin. I believe it's MSF admin. And then the same thing. Woohoo! IP add. So we've got 168.213. So are we actually on the same subnet? Let's start. Because I've given this a NerdKnight IP address. It's locked my RAM. So like I thought you guys, let's get out of that. So it's locked my mouse. How do I get my mouse out of here? I've done what I was supposed to do. What is going on? My mouse is stuck in this VM. I've done... I know you guys can hear that too. All right, let's try that again. I'm gonna have to try this one on my keyboard. I have no idea what's going on. If I do Control or Delete, it's going to try to lock my computer. Yep. That is interesting. So why is it locking my RAM, my mouse? Hopefully that did not stop my stream. Hopefully the stream is still going. Hang on. Well, let me check my phone. I have to Google how to get myself out of here. So my mouse is stuck into Metasploitable 2. So what would be the hotkey? Host. Is it? Okay, so VMware, press the host key plus control. Control off. Oh, right, okay. Guys, I just confirmed that Control Alt works. Well, thanks to Googling. So Control off works. So to get out of that, we do Control off. Now, it was... I just confirmed that it was that was a .213. So let's see. And we should be good to go. Yep, so they're both on the same subnet. So if I put this up for a second and put this here, so hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll do this. Come on. Well. Wouldn't let me actually expand you. You seem to be very mean. So MSF admin. Enter MSF admin. Enter. No mail, so we didn't ask for a mail. So let's do IP add again. So we know we are .135 and this place is .134. So let's ping 192.168.213.135. 134. Come on. No, I got it wrong. Yes, guys, it's working. We can ping the Kali box. So if I exit out of this and go back in here and then ping the other one, hopefully you guys can see my screen. So I'm going to ping .135. So 192. I'm not searching for anything. 19. Oh, it's probably gone off. I'm trying to search for something. 192.168.213. I believe that's the third octet. 213.135. Guys, it's working, and we are officially in. After so much pain, and so much good music, we finally made it. We have officially installed Metasploitable 2 and a Kali Linux box for our home lab environment. So guys, go and rewatch this. Obviously, skip the parts where we're waiting for things to install. But this exactly show you how you could install Metasploitable from scratch, how to download it from Rapid7 website, and how to install it on your home server. Again, like I said to you, this lab environment that I just showed you guys how to build can be used for both defensive and offensive security testing. And over the next few weeks, I'm actually going to be showing you guys how to test for different vulnerabilities. And also, guess this. We're going to also be talking about the GRC implications of each vulnerability. So not just the attacking and the defending, but we're also going to talk about it from a GRC compliance point of view, from a business risk point of view, and what impact it will have to a business. And then we're going to talk about how NIST, Cyber CSF or ISO 27701 or the ASM, which is the Australian Information Security Manual, recommends that you deal with something like that. And then finally, we're going to look at how to configure auditing and logs on each one of those vulnerabilities, and then how to detect it. Again, some of this content will be on our platform at CyLynk.com. if you go and subscribe. But I'm going to try as much as I can to give out some of them for free on YouTube. But guys, you've just seen me doing this 100% free on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much, everyone who was obviously here to start with, who joined me and who was part of this whole journey of getting this started from the very beginning. I am so grateful that you chose to hang out with me on a Saturday evening. Without any further ado, guys, do not forget that you can start and subscribe today to get access to job-ready, focused cybersecurity training. This is not about affordability. This is about job readiness. Like, I'm sure a lot of you guys would happily pay more money. You would happily pay more money to get access to something that actually gave you access to a real skill that employers are looking for. It's not about, is a course free or is it affordable? It's about, is it job ready focused? Is it hands-on? Is it practical? And is it accessible to me? And all of those things that I just mentioned, CyLynk.com, CYLYNK, does provide those different features. We are not only affordable, we are job ready focused. When you think of us, don't think affordable, think job ready, think hands-on, think practical, think labs, think job ready focused training, and think creation of impact, think of accessibility. So you can access our platform from anywhere in the world, and it actually caters to different learning styles. So we use a combination of videos and text and interactive elements. So it's not just a wall of text and it's not just a video, it's actually a combination of both. And guys, you can be rest assured that you're going to be learning from expert cybersecurity experts, from expert cybersecurity defenders, hackers, business leaders, leaders within cybersecurity, GRC specialists, IT specialists on our platform, IT, OT, information technology, and operational technology experts, which is ICS. You're going to be learning from AI experts on our platform. So do not hesitate. Go right now. I challenge you to go on at CyLynk.com and subscribe to our annual subscription so you can save, or you can subscribe to our monthly subscription for just $15 a month. You can sign up to our startup plan. And if you're not quite sure yet, you can actually sign up and start learning for free as well. It's been amazing hanging out with you guys this Saturday night. It is 11 p.m. here in Melbourne, Australia. So with that, I am so grateful. And if you're out there, you have not passed the React2Shell vulnerability, and if you're not sure of how to do that, go back and watch the video on how to actually find out if you're vulnerable, and go and patch that vulnerability, because it carries a CVSS score of 10.0, and that is bad in the world of cybersecurity. It's been amazing chatting with you guys, and with that, have an amazing rest of your evening. It's been amazing. It's been fun. We've learned a lot. We've listened to great music, actually, and you guys have heard some really good dad jokes from me. It's been absolutely incredible. I could not have preferred spending my evening or my Saturday night in any other way. Do not forget to subscribe, share the video with your friends and family, follow us on LinkedIn, and share the message and share the news. I love you guys so much.